I personally feel that no young man in their early 20s should be prioritizing paying all of the bills in the home that they live in with their girlfriend. I personally feel privileges like that are things that you discuss when you're on the edge of marriage and when you're actually married.
I 100% agree with him. 100%. First, let me start off by saying this is Nelson Raymond, aka Nelson Dream, and I love my wife. I love my wife. I do very dearly. God has blessed me with a wife that I did not have those problems with. Thank God. And I 100% agree with him because men nowadays are trying to figure it out. And the last thing you need to do is take on more responsibility when you're trying to figure yourself out. You're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, trying to get a job, trying to figure out life. You're better off being alone than committed to anybody. Even if you have a girlfriend, you don't owe her anything. You don't owe her nothing. You owe yourself to get better. You owe yourself to grow, and you owe yourself to get your life in order. At the end of the day, men are being taught to take care of females at a young age, which you're not supposed to do. That is not your responsibility. These things are not taught when we were growing up. It was taught that we had to handle everything. And it brings a lot of depression and a lot of pressure on young men. Nowadays, we're going to try to teach them going forward, get yourself together before you take care of anybody. 100%.
I will be teaching my sons that they should prioritize their single life, their career development, locking in good mental and physical health routines, and enjoying living alone first. That's something that I never experienced, living alone, right? I went from my childhood home to living with my girlfriend, right? And my wife never put any type of pressure on me in regards to paying all of the bills. This was just something that I saw growing up. My father was a man who paid all the bills. My grandfather was a man who paid all the bills. So it was always in the back of my mind that one day, if I could, that would be something that I would be interested in moving towards. But my
Again, 100%. That's just something we were taught growing up. I did not have my father in my life, but I did have my grandfather there for a short period of time, and my grandfather was the only one working. And we did struggle. We did struggle. And that's what I thought I had to do. But again, I also wasn't learned to prioritize your taking care of yourself. I wasn't taught that. That's something you learn as an adult when you become an adult. And then when you take on those responsibilities that you see the adults that you're looking up to, it becomes a lot of pressure. Meaning, if you take on all the bills, if you take on taking care of someone else, if you do that at a young age without setting goals for yourself, without having a mindset of you need to take care of yourself first, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to go through a depression. You're going to feel like you're not enough. Thank God his wife did not put that pressure on him. Thank God my wife did not put that pressure on me. I put that pressure on me, but my wife never put that pressure on me. That's why I said thank God for my wife. I'm very happy and very grateful for that. But men should not have that type of pressure on them. They shouldn't. You need to take care of yourself. You need to be single. That doesn't mean go sleep around with multiple girls and stuff like that. No. You need to build up who you are. Remember, you from up until you're 18, you're being taken care of. So you don't know what it's like to take care of yourself. From 18 all the way to 30, that's 12 years of you figuring out how to take care of yourself. That is what men should be doing. We need to learn how to be, because remember, the adult rules does not apply to us until we're 18. So now you're from 18 to 21. You're only a couple years into your adult life. Taking care of another girl or a child is too much on you when you're trying to figure out life. Take that age 18 to 30. Figure out what career path you want to do. Figure out how you want to manage your life every day, like your health, how you eating, how you manage your time, how you sleep, how do you deal with your off days, what is your habits, your hobbies, things of that nature, so you can bring your full, complete self to a woman, to your wife. to your girlfriend. If you do it at an early age, you're figuring yourself out, she's figuring herself out. It's not going to mesh most times. But if you get to the point where you're 30 years old, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what to do, you know what conversations you will have if you're with a girl and you guys want a certain goal, you know what conversations to have. So he's 100% right.
My wife never put that type of pressure on me, right? I wasn't even financially able to do that until I was 30, 31 years old. I'm about to be 36 soon. I've been living with my wife since I was 24 years old. Had my wife put pressure on me to pay all of the bills at 24, 25 years old, 26 years old, we wouldn't be together because I literally could not do it. I could not do it. And if I'm being honest, most men will never, in 2025, 2026, most men will never even be able to cover all the bills. It's too expensive. I'm teaching my sons to be leaders and providers, but not that they have to follow some crazy social media rhetoric that has been pumped onto our society the past 3 to 4 or 5 years. I'm teaching my sons, if you find a girl and you move in with a girl at 23, 24, 25 years old, and she's telling you that you need to pay all the run. Now, if you're with this girl,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Run. Get away from that relationship. Get away from her and learn to cut people off. Be like, nah, I'm done. Learn it. I've done that at an early age. I told my wife that I have a breaking point, and she never got to that breaking point. I love my wife. I'm gonna say that 1,000 times. I have a breaking point. If you break that breaking point, I'm done. I'm done. I don't like toxic traits around me. Don't like that. But he's right, man. Listen, if you're young, and I'm gonna teach my son the same, figure out what you want to do with your life before you find love, and make sure if you do find love early that you guys have the same goals, and that means you're working, she's working together. Y'all working to build something like a home, meaning like come together and save up for a home, come together and save up for a marriage, come together and save up for the baby, come together and save up for these things in life. You cannot wake up one day and say, we're going to live life the way it is. No, it has to be a goal. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, well, let's just make enough money to at least get a house, get enough rooms in the house, and be able to afford me to work alone. So that way you can stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom, and you don't have to work and stress yourself out. If you start off with he's paying all the bills, it's not going to work. He's going to go into depression. He's going to be stressed out. So my advice to you is if you're finding your girlfriend early and you feel like she's white material, then you guys got to have a communication, a conversation, and set up a goal where you guys both work for a down payment on a house and you guys both work towards your future, because that's what matters the most.
girl for some years, you guys are getting to know each other, that you're moving towards marriage, you want to marry this woman, have a family with this woman, then y'all start having a discussion. Is it even possible between the two of us? And then when I do this, what are you going to do with your money? Do you plan on working? Do you plan on being a stay-at-home mom? Have the full conversation. You're a partner, you're a leader in this household. That's what you are. And this is coming from a man who pays all the bills in his home. But I worked towards that. There also was no pressure towards that. And it was something that I just naturally felt like I wanted to do for my wife. That's how we got here. It's not because of social media. It's not because I'm a man and I'm supposed to do this. No. Do you know that most men don't even reach their highest earning potential until they're like 45 to 50 years old? And then you got women out here who are 22, 23 years old putting pressure on their 23, 24-year-old boyfriends to pay for everything. That's not realistic. I personally.
Yep. With that being said, man, again, I agree with him. It's just too much pressure. You don't want to do that. Yeah, a lot of these girls nowadays, they're independent women. They're independent women. Let them be independent. Let them figure this shit out. Do not put yourself in a situation where you have to work twice as harder to make yourself and her happy. Nobody's the prize. The wife is the prize. The wife, not the girlfriend. The girlfriend has to build to be that. I'm sorry. She has to build that. Same goes for men. Men too. Like, you have to build to be that prize. You're not the prize to her. You have to show that you can take care of her. You have to show that you can protect her. You have to show that relationship that she wants, that she's going to invest her life in to you is well worth it. And she got to do the same for you. But do not, I repeat, do not take on the stress of taking care of somebody at a young age. From the age 18 to the age 30, you're figuring your life out. It is very important. Very important because a lot of things we don't know. Do not make rash decisions at a young age. Think about it. Get your life together. Like I said, you're gonna figure out who you are as a person within that time frame. And once you figure out who you are as a person, you know who you want to deal with. You know what type of wife you want. You know what type of life you're gonna have as far as kids go, a home, where you're gonna live. What do you want to do with yourself? What are your habits are? What things she needs to respect and what things you need to respect about her. By the end of the day, take your time. Do not take on more responsibility than you can. And thank God for my wife. Thank God for this brother's wife that they did not put that pressure on them. And with that being said, this is your boy Nelson Dreams. I'm out of here.